Alrighty, testing 1 2 1 2. Are we back? So do we want the BS reason or the real reason the stream just dropped? The BS reason? Well, Don basically covered it. That ult by Matthias was so good, it killed everything. The real reason is my plug for my PC, my monitors, everything is right at like my feet, and I accidentally kicked one of them, and it just shut everything off. So, uh, probably due to me leaning back after Matthias's ult. So you know what, we're just gonna let Matthias have that. So he ulted the whole stream away, and my reaction. So the toe fumble strikes again. Yes, yes, it does. We actually had this issue last split, I think, on two separate occasions where Hairwick was hosting the stream, and my dog went underneath the desk grabbing some crumbs and knocked everything out. So here we are. What I will do is potentially just Sunday go ahead and like record what we missed. But oh, okay. Well, Brandino's just starting us off again, but he's diving into a boatload of stuff and ends up giving the shutdown over the Vladimir here. See, Matthias ends up ulting away. But yeah, GoPro for the one. Yeah, I hear you guys. Well, I will say in all of this action that we missed, Coinflip did get Dragon Soul here off 3 Mountain Drakes. 28 minutes in. 32 to 11. They are up by around 8,000 gold. So I think this is now turned away from being more so the Brandino show to now being the GeoProw Aristotelian show. And because he's now at 3 items and he's starting to get tanky. Which actually Jack Show plus Terminus is going to make this Kog'Maw so tanky with 3 Mountain Drakes. Like we're talking north of like 180 resistances when they're fully stacked. So, we do see the Serpent's Fang coming out of Monk Mentality, so that's a really, really good pickup. And there is the Jack Show. I'm just curious. So, yeah, look at these friggin' tank stats already on this 4-item Kog'Maw. No AP RE build. Yeah, you know what? I understand what you're saying, and I'm not a big fan of the Roa build, but I feel like at this part of the game, you're just a charm and a kite bot for the Kog'Maw here. Oh, massive ult! He didn't knock out the router with that one. And that might be it for Coinflip here. Kruger ends up just ulting forward and charming Monk Mentality. Here comes the redemption out here and a double kill going over. And this is now 13 kills on Brandino and Kog'Maw. Well, I'm glad we at least got to see the explosive ending of that game. And glad we at least caught the ending here. And that's Coinflip taking a very, very decisive game one overall. So yeah, Don, they did nerf the Roa build quite heavily. So I still think it does have its uses, but it's not as universal as it once was. So, all right. So Femboys end up taking blue side after Coinflip takes this game one. So let's see. Does anybody want to come in and talk just draft? You guys don't need to cast a game, but let's talk a little bit of draft. So I have the voice room in the server open. At least now I do. And yeah, just give me idea, give me something to work with here. So Coinflip ends up getting rid of the Aurora and the LeBlanc, which is what we seen in game one that they ended up banning away here. Oh, for fuck's sake. And so Coinflip, same bans. Femboys end up getting rid of the Swain, Talia, and Syndra, all staple champions out of Krieger. Krieger. You know, Krieger is really, really known for his Syndra play. I've been on the receiving end of that one. Uh, but really likes the Ari, really likes the Syndra. So we see Coinflip pulling out the Elise, which I think we all can assume will be the Geo Prowl special, but it is still a flex pick. I believe Brandino's already played it once or twice this split. So Femboys end up taking the Jarvan B1. And we see the Varus coming out from Femboys. Let's see what they end up reacting support-wise. Oh, what's up, Julia? Janna coming out. That's interesting. So be
Hello.
hello, Julia. How are we doing today?
We're doing just lovely today.
Just
Thank you
lovely.
for asking.
Uh-huh. What was your thoughts on that first game? Or at least of what you caught of it. Sorry.
It looks like this Malphite is a fucking Smurf. That's what I think.
Yeah.
It's always a great day when Geoprow can whip out the Elise.
Are we sold that this is GeoProw? I mean, it could be
Oh,
fun.
I'm sold.
You're sold? Okay.
I'm sold on it.
So what's your thought on the GeoProw special, the Elite support?
Well, I've played with it. It's pretty goated, and it's pretty good into this bot lane, I think. Varus and Janna are both immobile. So see if he can smurf it like he did in that Norms game the other day.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, I didn't go 1 in 10 in that one.
No.
That was someone else.
Yeah. What overall do you like this at least with like an all-in ADC like Tristana, or do you think it just kind of goes with everything?
I would say it's a lot better with something that can follow up on her burst, like a Jhin or Trist, like that. I think it's pretty good. Especially into the Enchanter plus Varus.
Yeah, I feel like though if you're going like if you're sold that it's going to be like an Enchanter bot lane, I think there's better picks than Varus. Like as Jinx, Zaya, Aphelios.
Oh my. Which one of these people plays Nautilus?
That's
Oh
GeoPro's
my God,
Nautilus.
are we not getting the Geoprow Elise?
It doesn't look like we are.
Oh no. I'm getting out of here. I don't want to watch anymore. Sorry.
Well, I mean, chat's saying it could be a Nautilus top, but I
Okay,
doubt it.
not top.
I doubt it.
So true, Don Don. Nautilus top.
Yeah, when we see Diana coming through here, there's a mid champ we don't see that often. Oh, and Demacia.
This individual does play Diana mid. He played that in scrims versus us.
Mm,
Have seen it.
leaking.
Yeah, we're leaking out here. He's the second best Nautilus. Who's the best Nautilus?
We it's gonna be
That must be you, right?
yeah. War a couple splits ago was a top laner, and he plays some Nautilus top, and he even played a mid as well. And we see a set
Oh,
coming
that
out.
sounds like an amazing pick.
Yeah, the problem is he hooks anything that moves when he's playing his support.
Yeah, that's respectable.
A set coming out as an answer to Garen. Oh, this is going to
Like
be an
not
interesting game.
everywhere.
He does. He'll play it in the friggin' jungle too.
Plays Nautilus ADC too.
If he ever was allowed to be ADC, probably.
I have done that on some slightly intoxicated nights. I have whipped out the Nautilus ADC.
Oh God. More cuties in the chat just face palming like that's an option. Great. Oh, what All right, now that we've kind of seen the rest of the draft, what are you favoring here? Looks like we got Mel mid versus this Diana, a set top versus Garen.
Well, it looks like we got some staple champions from both Femboys and Coinflip. So I think it'll be a interesting game. I kind of, I don't know.
Would
I don't know. Oh my God, I don't know.
Would you rather be the Tristana or the Varus here?
Hmm. I mean, Tristana does kind of shit on Averus pretty hard, but I don't know. Who picked first? I wasn't watching that much.
So they went Jarvan first. Again,
Oh,
Coinflip
right, right,
responded with the
right. I'm
Elise Tristana.
stupid.
Yeah. So what
Okay,
we?
but that begs the question of why would you pick that into a tryst?
Oh,
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. Maybe they know something you don't.
True. I don't know everything, but as a Varus enthusiast myself, I hate playing versus Trist. Terrible matchup.
I do find it interesting though that Femboys kind of rounded out the draft when they seen this R3 Mel with champions that really don't care about Mel's reflect here.
True. Just
So
Varus ult. It's pretty big.
Varus ult or I mean, as simple as it to
Can
say,
you reflect a Diana Q?
you can, but it doesn't stop Diana from jumping on you.
True.
She just doesn't get the reset when she jumps on you. So,
Oh, right.
which in some trades it's good, and in some trades it's not. But
Makes sense.
so we'll see here. This is a boatload of dive onto champions. I feel like can get away from it outside of Mel. Like you're diving Tristana, she gets out. Elise repel, set Nautilus, or like come here. I don't care.
Yeah. Only form of disengage is kind of their bot lane. And
Yeah,
that's assuming they don't get one shot by these champions that I'm seeing.
yeah. Plus, I don't know how. Oh, I feel like it's going to be hard if you're Diana here to get like a Q onto a meaningful backline to get
Yeah,
like a
I
decent ult.
agree. But who knows? Maybe Binky is goated. And we're about to see a Diana masterclass. Who knows?
Could be. Could
He's going
be.
for that kill record.
That he is. Which I've
But
yet to.
we got some complaining in the Rec League chat from Binky already. He got all his champs banned. It'll
Oh man.
really be like that. Maybe Rurika's leaking his champions to everybody. Who knows?
Hold on, I got it. I got it in the chat.
True, they did leave up the fizz. I don't know.
But Fizz into Mel is actually kind of hard for Fizz. So
This guy is getting war flashbacks from the Roa.
yeah, Fizz is a. I'm into Roa every game. I mean, if you're into Roa Seraph's Mel, then she does no damage to you either. So, oh
Roa Seraph smell.
yeah.
Well, I think Rurika would probably kill himself if he saw that build.
Y-
Yell about the double mana items.
Look, I'm against double mana items too, but I feel like they do have somewhat of a spot. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't comment on it a ton
mhm.
because, don't really know my mid lane items that well, apparently.
ah,
I've been flamed for my Malzahar, so obviously I'm not a mid lane player.
okay. Well, it sounds like you may have to bust that out one of these weeks.
Right, right. Just not mid lane. Just bot lane.
I mean, never know. You know, if he wants to,
There will be no lane swapping, unfortunately, from Happy Jellyfish, I don't think.
well, not in the first 3.5 minutes, whatever it is.
True, true.
So, alrighty
Or
here.
I meant role swapping.
Ah, nah, I doubt you guys do that.
Is this a sub jungler for Femboys? I just realized.
I believe it is, but don't quote me on that. With 24
I
teams,
think it is too.
it's hard to keep up with who's a sub, who's not.
Yeah, I don't recognize that guy's name. And we've scrimmed them a million times, so I'm pretty sure I'm right.
All
And
right.
it is an Elise jungle. Oh,
Sad face.
sad day.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think? You think this is gonna be 2-0, or you think Femboys ends up pulling it back here before we let you go?
For my entertainment's sake, I hope it's not a 2-0, but I kind of like Coinflip draft better.
Okay. Well, you heard it first.
We'll see. We'll let you do your thing.
All right. Well, appreciate you coming on. That was a phase rush, Diane. That's already weird. Uh, all
Yep.
right.
All
All right.
right.
Well,
Bye
appreciate you
bye.
joining me. All right. So let's take a look at this. Looks like it's lethality, Varus. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. For that, lethality, Varus. You've got Conqueror, Ignite, Garen up top, Phase Rush on the Diana.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Trist ends up going lethal tempo. Interesting. Ignite in the bot lane. So we'll see how this ends up going. I think I'm kind of with Julia that I do favor the coin flip draft a little bit here, but we'll see. If Femboys draft ends up getting ahead, though, they will output a lot of damage.
Minions have spawned.
Sometimes I think this anger just weighs me down.
This might be our, now that I think about it, it might be our first set of the split, I think. Oh, Matthias took a boatload of damage there. Pops the pot. Plus passive will heal him up quite a bit. Level 2 first here from Femboys bot lane, but Coinflip gets level 2 on the very next minion. Kruger burning the deflect here, which Diana Q is obviously a much shorter cooldown. So Diana's okay with eating that. See Brandino again coming top lane here. Matthias gets a big W off. Brandino's W gets tanked by the minions here. We see, oh, Donban Yasuo didn't click the Q quick enough here, so Matthias flashes away. And again, similar to game 1, first blood goes over the Brandino. When the Ashes ends up stopping, his back here is going to get jumped on here by Coinflip's bot lane. Here comes the Ignite. There's the explosive shot. And a jump in, and then a jump right back out. And that's a 2-0 start here by Coinflip. And Triss ends up getting a kill in what we heard was a very Triss-favored lane. Zach ends up coming top here for Matthias. Big W coming out here. Let's see if he's got Q up to go after Zach. Zach ends up slowing with the W. And that's going to be a kill going over to this Garen now. We see Brandino now coming mid lane. Nice chain CC coming out of Brandino and Krieger here. And that's going to end up being the feats of combat taken by Coinflip. Do you see Brandino starting up this dragon here? So we see a lot better neutral objective pressure from Coinflip. Fairly quiet game for the most part. I do think putting Krieger on a much more stable mid lane matchup, even though Monk still picked a very aggressive champion, he has ways of defending himself with this Mel. So we see Yasuo has a little bit of a slow push still going his way, with Jarvan up top there. See if they look at potentially doing a dive. Krieger ends up wasting the E there, thinking Monk was going to jump on him. Oh, big stun. Oh, and a really, really nice layering of the damage in the CC by Zach and Yasuo. And don't ban Yasuo here. And that's actually a pretty massive wave for Matthias to miss. Jaina ends up getting hooked here by Geoprow. See if anything else comes from this. Triss now has Lethal Tempo up. But just a trade of some cooldowns. Mac ends up dodging this this hook from Geoprow here. Let's see what Coinflip does here. The Cocoon goes wide. Monk Mentality ends up getting rooted here by the E. Ends up, though, following to Krieger here. Jarvan ends up jumping in, but GoPro is already up here with the ult. So, really nice rotation here from Geoprow. But here comes the rest of them. Set ends up ulting Garen back into the team. Tries to flash W onto Garen here, but doesn't get all of it. And now they still have a lot of tempo here on the scrubs. And actually, I just found out Mel can W Varus E. Did not know that. Makes sense. Just never really thought of it that way. We see Triss having to ult away Diana as she went bot lane to cover. Zac ends up taking one of the Void Grubs to help out. Mac ends up getting jumped on. Janna uses the heal. Tries to Q Geoprow away, but misses. Nice stun coming out of Brandino here. Janna ends up having to ult away, but now that sets her up to get stunned. And Krieger is now on a killing spree, 3-0-1. Geoprow has to flash away from the Jarvan ult. Brandino ends up cocooning Zac here. Zac ends up getting hooked. And just a never-ending fight here started from this grub. Zac ends up getting pulled away by Seth. Brandino ends up getting on a killing spree as well. We do see Varus ends up ult queuing away Brandino. Garen ends up sending Demacia on top of Seth's head. And Mac ends up taking out two others, so... Whew. 5 for... 5? 5 for 3? Something like that. There was so much fighting there and it was so long. It was hard to tell. Krieger definitely, Oh! Okay. Hello, Krieger W? I guess he thought W was up, or his keyboard broke? I don't... I got nothing. He postured like he had W. Monk Mentality TPing up top here as Garen is on top. Nice ult overall. Matthias gets silenced here, has the W coming out, ends up taking out Mac. But the solo laners then have enough to take out Set here, so really big back and forth from these two teams. So we do see, though, the team of Femboys taking the other two grubs here. So 3 grubs plus a dragon against a dragon here. I think for the most part, Femboys got the better of the 2 solo dragons here now. And we do see that it's going to be an Infernal Drake for the rest of the game. Oh, almost clipped him. Oh, we see a lot of damage coming out of Mac here. We did see Geoprow got ulted before we panned upward. And we see Krieger getting jumped on. Burn the W here and just gets completely one-shotted before the R comes out. We see Mac ends up getting himself a quiet little 5 kills here. But Zac ends up kind of getting jumped on here and ends up getting taken out by Trist. Matthias ends up getting Garen ulted. Garen ends up falling off of that turret dive. Mac ends up getting hooked by Geoprow. Brandino's cocoon went wide, but they still have plenty of damage. Krieger's ends up TPing back. Monk ends up getting one with Ashes and a nice Q flash passive auto coming out of Diana here. What ends up being, what was that, 2 for 2? We see Donbae Yasuo finishes his top turret here. Note that neither teams have completed feats of strength yet. So that's first turret over to the side of Femboys. I believe first 3 kills went over to Coinflip. Yeah, those are the 3 kills brought to you by Brandino. So now we're just waiting for the third neutral monster taken here. Kruger ends up Wing the Diana ult originally, but didn't W the explosion here. And even though you have the W, Diana still has no issues walking up to you and one-shotting you. We do see Mac jumping on the Geo Prow. Brandino ends up trying to one-shot Mac here. Oh, and gets Q'd in the face during the Elise Spider Q. And this gives Geoprow, though, going after Mac. See if that explosion does take him. Shutdown goes over to Rustilion. But Don't Ban Yasuo's trying his best. He ends up getting taken down. But Zach ends up grabbing the Rift Herald that gives him feats of strength here. So free boots over to the side of Femboys here. I think the thing that's developing in this game is Femboys have no issues side laning, trying to 1v1, and I think they're overall going to have the advantage on the solo laners. But 5v5, I don't know if they have enough access to the backline or enough damage to get to the backline to take out this Trist or Mel. But we do see Coinflip starting up this dragon. Monk ends up TPing bot lane. Matthias ends up ulting him into the team. Big W and a shutdown going over to Brandino. But the rest of the group is here. The AD was not here yet. That's a triple kill going over to this Varus. And he's already got 9 kills in 17 minutes in this game here. So I love the vision here by Coinflip to go after the TP Diana, but the AD and mid were just not, we're too far behind for that. This is going to end up being mid lane T1 taken down by this Rift Herald. Let's see if they drive it into tier 2. Brandino, though, attacking the top side of the map here. And Monk ends up getting out. Nope. But we see a flash. Oh my, well played by Zach. A flash ult into an EQ to attack Krieger here. Well, it looks like Femboys are going to end up taking this tier 1. And they're ultimately going to be ahead by about 3,000 gold. Geoprow is going to end up going down, though. Brandino, though, trying to take out Zach, but this Janna ends up getting the Storm Surge proc and falling. So we're averaging almost 2 kills a minute here, by the way. And we see Trist ends up taking out Zach here. debuff going over to the side of Coinflip as they push Garen away here. And this is, yeah, this is what I was kind of afraid of, is if Femboys' comp got ahead early, they were going to be able to create a lot of pressure on these side lanes here. Doesn't help that Mac ends up getting 11 kills, but we see our rest. Oh my lord, that Triss damage. Okay. We do see Coinflip though on this Otacon here. See, Matthias is backing here on potentially an item. Yeah, he's on a hull breaker now. Now they're going after Zac. Krieger does end up taking away Otacon, and Zac ends up falling. They didn't even need the TP out of Set here, so Set just goes back bot lane now with this hull breaker. And that's one way to stop the bleeding here if you're the Coinflip team here. Oh, we see a flash, and Brandino ended up missing the cocoon, but it was close enough that Mac wanted to leave that area. Overall, we're tied on the kill score, 20-20 here. And it's about a 2,200 gold lead. Now, about an 1,800 gold lead with that turret taken. Excuse me. Infernal Drake coming up here in 1 minute, which I think is going to be a really, really big fight over. Krieger ends up going for the double burn here instead of a Shadow Flame. Second, Shadow Flame does increase the dot damage that Krieger ends up getting out. Monk Mentality, though, ends up getting sniffed away here in this brush. Oh, massive poke coming out of Varus right now. Oh, but don't ban Yasuo ends up brush cheesing, and Brandino's going to end up falling straight up. But the bot lane here is fighting. Oh, and if Triss falls here. Okay, Mac ends up sniping him. Geoprow has to flash over the Dragon Wall. And now we see Krieger here getting ulted by Monk Mentality here. And they're just going to keep going forward. And that's a double kill for this Garen, as they had complete setup on this dragon here. And what ended up starting with a brush cheese out of don't ban Yasuo, please. Oh. Oh my lord, that damage. And Mac is godlike here, 13 kills. Just now tuning in, who won game one? Coinflip won game one. They are the red team here. And Femboys right now looking poised to give us a potential game 3. Yo, Don and Arctic, you want to join me for this game 3? I'm open to it, but I understand if you don't. Ah, it is Mother's Day weekend. That's correct. Doing homework. You had me at the first part, but then I knew you were bullshitting me on the second part there. Brandino ends up returning the favor As Garen brush cheesed him to set up that dragon, and now he just one shots this this Jarvan here. Oh, we see a big ult coming in. They end up taking down the Janna here, but Don't Ban Yasuo also falls to a big W coming out of Matthias. Okay, Julia, you're full of shit. Let's see. Okay, they're threatening Baron here. Varus is pushing mid. Monk's getting pushed out by this set. GoPro using the locket here, which I actually think is a low-key big cooldown. Zac ends up getting jumped on here. EQs the Nautilus ult. Aristotelian is still on this Baron. Oh, nice buster shot. See, Triss ends up getting away, and Coinflip take this Baron without losing a single person. So now we have Baron push here for about another 2.5 to also set up a Soul Dragon for Femboys here. GoPro is my hero. Yeah, he's all of our heroes. You see Krieger getting jumped on here from Monk. And we're going to continue to see this in the side lane here. We talked about... oh, but we see Trist. Oh my lord, Trist damage is absolutely insane. But we knew Diana was going to be able to win the split against Mel. Especially when she's just pushing like that. Oh, okay! Oh, my lord! It was who could burst each other down first. And Brandino has the repel, so he wins. Ho, buddy. Brandino, what a move there. Flashing in the Diana's face. Let's see if Zac ends up walking in here. This could be bad for him. GoPro ends up pulling the trigger on the hook, but it falls short. Brandino and Krieger starting up the dragon here. And the red team ends up getting the drag, so it's 2 drags for them. Diana ends up TPing really deep, but walks away. Trist ends up sidestepping. Oh my lord, that QW damage on the Krieger. Krieger ends up having to flash away from max Q. This is a 4-item lethality Varus, by the way. We do have a little bit of down period. 26 to 26. Gold is relatively even. 300 in favor of Femboys here. But we see Tristana ends up just jumping straight on the Mac here. We're just going to see which carry kind of gets picked off, because there's really no super big front line here. Trista's end up getting rid of turrets. Oh, we have the hook coming out by GoPro here. And a big engage by Coinflip here to catch out both the jungler and the support of Femboys here. So they dove in to protect Mac. See if this is potentially an end angle. They've only got 3 minions here. So, oh, but Monk ends up flash QEing and ult early. Brandino does find himself in a really rough spot, and he ends up falling here. Staying true to his team name, trying to coin flip this end a little bit. Monk actually had like a really solid ult there, but just kind of fell in favor to the long distance Q of Diana where you ult early. Now we see a counter push kind of coming back, or at least getting the minions to their base here. But we see Matthias ends up brush checking here. Ends up getting silenced. He couldn't get the W off. That is Garen ult down. Baron is spawning here. Coinflip could threaten an end. They push mid. But I think they're pushing mid to check Baron. No, they're going down mid here. See if Geoprow can stop some of these backs maybe? He did stop some of them. Basically just Jarvan, actually. So, see what happens here. Monk ends up having a really decent angle here. The 2 carries are kind of left out. Monk ends up ulting in, but gets 1 shot. Tristana also ends up 1-shotting the 2 engages. So now, potentially, again, another end angle here. You do have Dragon up in 20 seconds. That'll put you on soul point. I think it's definitely a lot safer. Matthias is up, so burns TP to go after this Dragon. Bloodthirster on this Tristana is going to end up being a big pickup. Oh, nice ult in, but from Matthias. Oh my lord! The Tristana damage. Oh my, the triple kill for Tristana. Jarvan responding in 13 seconds. Brandino protecting the minions here. I think this is inhib and out. Diana and Jarvan are coming up here. Krieger is coming via TP here. Zac ends up getting 1 shot by Tristana. And then Brandino ends up 1-shotting Monk Mentality. And that's an end here for Coinflip. And I'm not going to say it, and I'm not going to look over at chat, but I think Julia's probably called this one and how valuable this Trist is into the team comp that Femboys ended up drafting here. What was a very, very decisive end to the game here. We see Coinflip take the series 2-0 onto Femboys and makes Group A just really insane. Let's see if anybody wants to get an interview in.
Hello.
What is up, Brandino? How you doing, my friend?
Doing great. Good evening. How's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty exciting games.
Yeah,
Even though it
yeah,
was a
not good.
2-0, I mean, that was a competitive 2-0.
Yeah, there was lots of fighting. Very happy. I don't like playing the snooze fest. This team wanted to bash heads. Let's bash heads.
Okay, I dig it. Yeah, I was kind of like the first game. I don't want to say there was like it was ups and downs, but like there was definitely like a very peaceful time in that first game. And then when I seen the Diana Jarvan drafted, I'm like, oh, they're gonna trade hands with Coinflip. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, yeah. The first game was like we drafted Lulu Cog Malphite Ari. Like we had Vi as the only person who could really be a lot of proactive early stuff. Ari can help out with that, but the lane state wasn't favorable for her. We were looking to scale up in that game state, and then it just kept like being fights on fights on fights. Vladimir actually scared me a little bit, but we managed to get it before he got too out of control. Game two. Game two was a real slobber knocker, man. That was back and forth, nonstop fighting, bashing brains the whole time. Love it. Good series.
Yeah, it seems like after week one, like you guys have just been scaling up quite a bit here. I know you guys went through some role changes here, but compared to last split, I should say. But do you just feel like that now you guys are kind of hitting your peak here near the end of regular season, going into playoffs?
I think that's fair. Last split we had a change of player near the end of the season. We had to kind of learn how to gel with that new player. We've been playing, all of us have been playing together for a while as friends, but it's different when you're trying to like get your competitive groove in. In this split, we swapped some rules around in order to better facilitate players on our team, and that took some gelling for sure. Not only for people to learn their roles, but to also re-gel with what their playstyles are going to be. Someone might be an aggressive mid laner, but then be a very passive top laner or something along those lines, right? So we had to figure out what that new style was going to be, and I think we've gotten that now.
Well, that's good, man. And you get stuck into one of the toughest groups here. What's your thoughts on like seeing all these new teams and how competitive this league has gotten this split now?
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I want people to come in with the right attitude, which to me means that you talk smack as much as you can before the game starts, and when the game starts, you're an honorable opponent, and you say your GGs at the end of the series. But aside from that, you play hard. You bring up weird flex picks. You swap lanes. You do every dirty trick in the book to try to get that dub. And I love seeing the strategy and innovation that has come through from people doing weird stuff. And I'm hoping to see more of that. So if you're out there and you're practicing Braum Jungle, please show me the weirdness. Let's play.
Okay. What won't keep you too long, but is there any team from a different group that you're excited to see now that I believe you are locked in the playoffs? Yeah.
I thought the same thing. I was wondering if we're locked from this series. So I'm going to take your word as law and as truth. Um, The answer to your question is, well, I have a history with Bori, so like I prefer to play against Bori's team and see how they're doing. In a one-on-one with with both of our teams being newly formed. But the one that really interests me right now is I'd like to understand. I don't remember if we played against Small Brain last split, but I'd like to play against Small Brain this split and see how they're doing. And to see how I mesh up against them. For me, I had a lot of confidence when I was playing top because I played top forever. Now I'm playing jungle, and I'm really just trying to see like if I can go up against the best people in the league and see how I'm going to do against them. So those are some teams I have out there. But seriously speaking, this group's no joke. So I'm happy to be playing in this group and seeing how we're faring. This was a 2-0, but this was very easily going the other way. So props to Femboys for having a very proactive playstyle.
All right. Well, I don't think Jake would back down from the challenge either, Mr. Herwick himself. But I definitely would love to see you and him match up on the Rift together and see how
Calling
that
you
would
out,
end up.
Herwick.
Uh-oh, there you go. You know how competitive he gets, man.
All right, better learn all my counter picks.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's got some interesting stuff as well. I will say, but I'm this is might be the most excited I've been going into playoffs. Like I look at the top three of every single group, and I'm like, any one of these teams could get hot and potentially take it all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my favorite thing for sure is not watching Coinflip go 5-0 last split and then maybe go something like that this split. My favorite thing is to watch a team that is absolutely garbage the first game or two and then like scale up and become a monster because they learned the teamwork. They learned how to like remacro themselves. I want to see that from a team this split. I don't have enough time to keep track of all the teams this split, but I'm sure that amongst the what we have 20 this time, I'm sure someone's
24.
doing that. 24.
Yes.
Someone's doing that. So I want to. So you tell me the name of that team, and I'm scrimming that team.
Scorch. I think
Scorch.
Scorch is the one they had a lot of team cohesiveness because they were together for a while, but then when they made the lineup change and their AD Boonstra went to mid, he had they won't
Which
even
one? Yeah.
argue it. They had a very sloppy week 1 and then they've 2-0'd everybody since then. Very similar to your
Wow,
guys's. Like
that's awesome.
I would argue they had a worse week 1 than you, and I don't think Rusty would ever argue that one. It was not pretty, but now they have caught their strides. Like you said, they know what each other wants to play. Boone's getting more comfortable with mid. Calico's way more comfortable with their bot lane ADC, and Scorch looks like they're ready to jam this split. But all of these, like I said, these top three teams, I got the standings up now for the stream, just looks super strong. So
Yeah. Well, I'm true to my word. I would be down to stream against them.
mhm.
Yeah. So looking forward to playoffs. I understand. I think the system's gonna be the same, right? There's gonna be like a bye and that kind of thing.
Yes, I believe it's top three teams from each group make it to playoffs. The number one seeds get a first round bye. And just because there are four groups this year, there should be no intergroup like competition like there was in round one last split. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
unfortunately, with three groups, like I didn't want to see it, but every time I went and like mixed up and played with the bracket myself, it was really hard
Yeah.
to avoid it. So this time, more teams, more competition, much more competitive playoffs. I love everything I'm seeing. So.
Hey, to all you first seeds out there, that's a free innovation week.
Mm-hmm.
And I said wrong jungle. And do you think I'm just saying that for no reason? I am
Uh,
saying that for no reason, but hey. All right.
I,
GG's.
Alrighty, Brandino. I will let you guys go, but a very competitive 2-0. I'm super happy to see this match and just how competitive it was. So,
Thank you.
uh,
Appreciate the kind words. Have a
uh,
good night, everyone.
you as well, good sir.
Bye bye.
That's Brandino, the jungler for Coinflip. He was the top laner last split and went to jungle. And Coinflip, while they would say didn't have the greatest showing in week 1, they have completely turned it around to owing an undefeated Femboys team. And now they get a week 5 matchup against Solus Endeavor Esports, which is another tough team. And it could potentially be for a tie for second, third seed, just depending on how else the group goes. Femboys does have Instinct CK as well, so it's going to be a very competitive week 5 for this league here. So super excited to see how it goes, and good luck to the rest of the teams. I'm super excited to see uh, just who ends up making playoffs, what tiebreakers we might have, and everything else. So thanks for joining us. Thanks to Matthias for Malphite ulting this whole stream in game 1. I will have to go back and re-record what we missed and mesh it up for the YouTube, but sick play overall from both sides here. So appreciate all the love and support, guys, and I believe I will not be able to cast any of the games tomorrow, but I think there will be a few people out there to help out. So we'll see what we end up getting. If not, Sunday I can get some replays out there. I'm not trying to kill myself casting, but I want to get you guys all the content you can get. So appreciate the love and support, and I'm out. Deuces.